Hello, welcome to ZIM Capture. I'm inventor Dan Zen, and ZIM at zimjs.com is an open source library to make interactive media on the HTML canvas using JavaScript and Create.js. In this capture, we're going to take a look at how we can call a function when an animation is done. And we'll call a function when an animation loops, and we'll call a function when an animation rewinds. So let's take a look at the code. All right, we should have something to animate. How about var box? Now we've already done animation. I think we did it with a box equals a new zim dot rectangle 200 comma 200 and frame dot orange, perhaps orange. Oranga-janga. I did it again. Woohoo! There we go, and we'll center this on the stage. As a matter of fact, we'll center the registration point just in case we want to spin this thing. I'm not sure if we will. And that looks like box.center reg on stage, like so. And let's take a look. Here we have a box on the stage. Woohoo! It is indeed orange. How about we change that to pink? I'm in the pink mood. Great, and now we will animate that. Box.animate. We're going to pass in a bunch of parameters, so we'll go to the ZIM duo technique of the configuration object. And the first one is the animation object, and that will look like, how about we do the scale? And right, scale to, how about we scale it to 0? And then we will say in the amount of time that is 1 second, like so. And let's save this up, see how she goes. So we refresh here, whoop, gone, whoop, gone. Great. Now, how do we find out when that is done? Well, we can use a call parameter. And that call parameter, can call this function right here, and this function will do something. How about we make an indicator? So up here, we'll go var indicator. Okay. How about we call it var, and we can't call it var in, indi. Var indi, very nice, is equal to a new zim.indicator. We'll just pick the default one and we'll add that to the stage, center it. So that is indi.center on the stage. And we'll move this up a bit. So indi.y minus equals 100. Okay, let's see how we're doing. We refresh here. Now, do we do anything down here? We are calling an empty function at the moment, and that's fine. We refresh. Oh, that indicator's not quite high enough on there, so why don't we say 200? And then we'll call this function and we'll adjust the indicator. Oh, by the way, if we're wanting to adjust the indicator, we're probably indi.current index equals 0. So that means that indicator will start on with the current index of 0. Shall we see that just before we go and change it? Well, then again, maybe not. Indi.current index equals 0. Indi is on there. Current index equals 0. Selected index, maybe. I don't think so. Selected index, and we refresh this. Oh yeah, okay. So selected index, my apologies. And there we have an indicator showing. Now what we'll do is each time we call, we'll advance that indicator. That looks like this. Indi dot current index. Is that it, or was it selected index? Selected index. Lovely. Indi.selected index is equal to the same thing again. Same thing again, plus 1. And we're going to imagine a time when we have all sorts of these going, because remember, we're looping and rewinding later and stuff like that. So we'll percentage it by indies.num, which tells us how many things are in there. So that's called the modulus, and semicolon. So great, that's what it's going to do when we call. And we refresh here, and let's take a look. Refresh, boop, and hey, cool. So when it gets to the end, boop, it advanced the indicator. Here, boop. Okay, let's try that loop that we were talking about. And that might look like this. Loop, colon, true. Now we've turned the loop on. Now, unfortunately, it will not call this. Oh, call it, especially if it's broken there. But watch, we save this, we refresh. Oh, look at that loop go, but unfortunately, since this loop is never ending, the animation never ends, and therefore the call never gets called. Well, then we can use a loop call, like so. Right? A loop call will call this function now every time it loops. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, and there the modulus just wrapped that for us. Okay, now there's also a rewind. So that looks like this. Rewind, colon, true, comma. Let's see what happens here. Rewind. Womp, womp, one loop. Womp, womp, two loop. One, womp, three loop. Womp, womp, four loop. Womp, womp, five loop. And the last one on a hiccup. All right, so the rewind call, or sorry, the loop call is happening after both the forward and the backwards of the rewind happen. There is also a rewind call. So that was a loop call. There's a rewind call that will happen every time it rewinds. So watch the slight difference there. Refresh, boop. So when it gets to the boop bottom, now that's when it's starting to rewind. That's when it calls. So kind of in the middle. And we can keep both of them in there. I guess we could do that. No problem. We'll have a loop call and a rewind call, and they're both advancing. So now it's going to just advance twice as fast. It advances there, it advances there, it advances there, it advances there, it advances there. So on both sides, we're advancing. Okay, so that's great. We can also loop a certain number of times. So loop colon, oh, that's loop count, I believe. Loop count colon 3, comma. So now only loop 3 times, and let's bring back that call. So at the end of that, comma, call, colon, and we'll call this function right here with the squigglies. And how about, what should we do? How about we make the indicator disappear? So indi dot, well, I'll go stage dot remove child indi, like that. And we would need a stage dot update, stage dot update. Oops, round brackets, semicolon. And now let's try her out. So we save that and refresh here. 1, 2, 3. Whoom. Indi's gone and we stopped. Pretty cool, huh? Now there's one more thing about these things. There are parameters that we can pass through. So by default, the value that we collect here will be whatever we are animating. So we're animating the box. So by default, the target, like if we put an event object in here, for instance, we'll be collecting the target. So it's not e.target, I just don't want you to get confused. So we directly get the target here. And then we could remove that to stage.remove child target, like so. And now both the indicator and the box will go whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't know if that's confusing you. We told you to do it 3 times. And anyway, they're all gone. We did say do it 3 times, so perhaps well, anyway, it's just happening twice every time. All right, stage.update on the removed child of the target, we can pass in other parameters as well by doing something like this. Call params. I think it's just params actually on this one. Params, like that. Param, where's it? Params, colon, and then we can pass in a value like hello, like so. Now, target will be hello, so we better put something else here, like message. And we're not going to remove the box at all, but we could do something like zog the message to see what we got there. And we refresh here, as long as this works. Something didn't work about it. Let's just take a look at our error message with an F12. Something's missing somewhere. So what did we do wrong? Well, call params. Oh, we missed a comma. So comma params hello. So we save that and refresh. There it goes. Oh, we're waiting 3 times. La, 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 la. There's the 3rd time. And now it is saying hello to us. Now, if you want more than one parameter passed in there, then the idea is you can pass in an object or an array or something like that. We could have an object where it's saying message is equal to, well, I won't use the word message, text, colon, hello, and comma, name, colon, Dan, something like that. And so there, any number of property or like values we could put in there, but we're really passing in one parameter. And then later in here, message is the object that we're collecting, so we could zog message.text, and we could zog message.name plus says plus. So whatever's in message.name says the message.text without punctuation. So we refresh there, and away she goes. Womp, 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 womp. Dan says hello. And there's also ways to pass in parameters to any of our other functions as well in the same kind of way. It's called loop params and rewind params. Great. We saw how we can call call functions when the animation has ended, completed, when it's looped, and when it's rewound. I'm inventor Dan Zen. We're here at the ZIM Capture at zimjs.com. Have a great day.